in these coming days will be inspired and excited by what we see. Though a new format from what we're used to, we will get to experience together the passion, the energy, the ideas, and the vision of our elected leaders and party officials. Today, I have the opportunity and pleasure to introduce a few of those progressive California leaders who will address you momentarily. I'm going to introduce all three of them, and then they'll take it from there before I join you at the very end of the session. Thank you again for all that you're doing. Thank you for joining us. And without further ado, I will do the introductions. First, it's my pleasure to introduce Assemblymember Lorena Gonzalez. Lorena Gonzalez is chair of both California's Latino Caucus and the Assembly Appropriations Committee. Representing San Diego County's 80th Assembly District in the Capitol, Assemblymember Gonzalez has authored laws to create California's automated voter registration system, guarantee all workers receive paid sick leave, and expand employee rights to Uber and Lyft gig workers. In 2022, Assemblymember Gonzalez will be on your ballot as a candidate for Secretary of State. Next, we'll hear from Congressmember Mark Takano. Congressmember Takano is the first openly gay person to serve in Congress, a person of color, to serve in Congress. Since 2012, he has represented California's 41st district, which includes the cities of Riverside, Paris, Moreno Valley, and Jurupa Valley. Prior to being elected, he was a teacher at Rialto High School and served on the Riverside Community College District Board of Trustees. He is currently the chairman of the House Committee on Veterans Affairs and a proud member of the Education and Labor Committee, the LGBTQ Equality Caucus and Congressional Asian Pacific American Caucus, and the Progressive Caucus. Finally, we'll hear from Assemblymember Reggie Jones-Sawyer. Reggie Jones-Sawyer is a proud Democrat serving the communities of South Los Angeles as a representative of the 59th Assembly District. She's okay. She's just playing in the background. A major proponent of social issues and civil rights, Assemblymember Jones-Sawyer continues to fight for access to quality public education, stimulus funding, and small business community in his district, and livable wage jobs for all Californians. Assemblymember Jones-Sawyer serves as chair of the Assembly's Public Safety Committee, where he advocates for second chance legislation and policies that are equitable and fair. So with that, I will turn it over to Assemblymember Gonzalez, and I will go grab my daughter.
Thank you, Becca. And as a mom, I understand. Luckily, mine are a little bit older than that now, and no more crying, hopefully. So welcome, Democrats of, I guess, San Diego, Orange County, LA, Inland Empire. All of our folks are here today. Excited. I hope excited, because this is just a historic opportunity, not just nationally, obviously, as a Californian. I'm so excited. Yes, I see in the chat there, Imperial County too. I'm sorry if I forgot you. So excited to have a Californian on the ballot. My daughter this morning, and I gotta say this, my daughter's 24 years old. She said, this may not have been my first choice, but do you know that nobody has been on the Democratic ticket west of Colorado ever? I don't know if that's true. That was from my daughter, but that's pretty incredible that we have a Californian and our chance to actually elect somebody with California values. We know Kamala Harris and Joe Biden are going to fight for working people. As somebody who spent my whole life fighting for union members and people who want to be members of unions and are working class, I'm excited about what we can see in Washington if we all get out and vote. I'm the first person to tell you we still have more work to do. As a supporter of Medicare for all, we're going to have to continue to push that. But we are excited about what we do have in front of us and the changes that we can make. Did I get it wrong? I'm getting like Kamala. Yes? Yes? Kamala. Can I get it? Yes? Kamala? Kamala.
Like Kamala with a K.
Kamala. I got a woot woot. Okay. We'll rename her if not. Kamala. As somebody who's always called Lorena, I should get it right. It's Lorena. But we're excited about what we're going to do at the national level. And here in California, there's so much that we are going to take on in California, and so many people we need to get elected, whether it's our freshmen in Orange County, whether it's re-electing Reggie Jones-Sawyer in Los Angeles, whether it's making some headway out in the desert. We've got a lot to do here I hope you're excited about that, because it's all about layering on those layers and getting people out to vote in a way a lot of people haven't voted. Don't forget, everybody's going to get an absentee ballot. That's the first time this has happened, and we're going to have to ensure that they know what to do with it. I keep telling folks, don't worry. Some people are going to get it and think it's a sample ballot and throw it away. And we're going to have to tell them, no, you got to go to a vote center then and get another one. We're going to have to do that work, but I know together we can. And so I'm really excited about that. And with that, I will turn it over to Representative Takano, who's going to take it from here. Mark?
Well, thank you, Lorena Gonzalez, Assemblywoman. Really great honor to be also here on this program with Assemblyman Reggie Jones Sawyer. The work you're doing on second chances is so important to my district and the Inland Empire. So I thank you for that commitment. I'm Congressman Mark Takano, and I'm honored to be here with all of you from Southern California, from all of the counties that Lorena Gonzalez mentioned. And the stakes are high. As our nominee, Joe Biden, Vice President Joe Biden has said, we are at an inflection point. We have always been a nation on a pathway, on this arc, to be a country not defined by a particular heritage, a particular racial background, a particular religion. We have been united by an abstraction. And what is that abstraction? Equality and justice before the law. That is American exceptionalism. And we are at an inflection point, whether or not a nation of the people, for the people, and by the people, the republic that is going to continue, that it will persist, and that we have to ensure it won't perish from this earth. That is really what the stakes are. Let's not pretend that it's anything less than that. We have a person in the White House who is not in agreement with what I believe most of us think our nation is. This is an election about who we are. So, more than any other year, it's up to us in Southern California to do the important work. And you all showed up magnificently in 2018 when we made Orange County blue, when we added more members from San Diego County, and we made LA County totally blue. Unfortunately, one of those seats we lost, and we need to take that seat back. We need Christy Smith, and we need Amar Campa-Najjar to go to Washington next year. So look, we want to take the 55 Electoral College votes off the map and into the column for Joe Biden. We want to make sure we send 2 new members of Congress, as well as keep all of the other members that we worked so hard to elect in 2018 and have this amazing progressive delegation to the state of California. So I know we can do this. I know California Democrats, Southern California Democrats know how to make history. We made history when Nancy Pelosi became the first woman Speaker of the House, and she did it again. We made history. Well, with all due modesty, you all made history when you are looking at the first person who is openly gay and elected, openly gay and a person of color elected. That's this intersection, an intersectional member of Congress. And we're going to make history again when we elect the first woman vice president of the United States, a woman who is African American and Asian. Talk about intersectionality. This is the America of the future. This is the America of a multicultural future, a multiracial future, a future dedicated to the proposition of equality and justice before the law. So let's you and I make history together. Thank you so much for having me be on this call. And I now want to yield to the distinguished Assemblyman, Reggie Jones Sawyer.
Thank you, Congressman Mark Takano. You may or may not know, Lorena and I are the founders of the California Legislative Progressive Caucus, which hasn't been around in decades. And that's why we have a progressive caucus in the state assembly right now because Lorena and one day over a few drinks, I will tell you how we started it. It's a very funny story. I'm proud to be a Californian. When I'm out of the country, since this president's come in, sometimes I'm a little embarrassed to say that I'm from the U.S. And a lot of times I just say I'm from California. And California brand right now is stronger than it's ever been before because we have stood against people who believe in democracy. This shady Trump crew hasn't been this crooked since Nixon. I haven't seen this. It hasn't been this bad since Richard Nixon, where people are going to jail for corruption. It's our duty to clean it up. It's our duty, not only as Democrats, but as Americans, to make sure that Joe Biden and Kamala Harris get in as president and vice president. And let me tell you about the choice of Kamala Harris. This president has attacked Californians. This president didn't want a Black president. This president didn't want a female president. This president has attacked APIs, Chinese, especially when it comes to coronavirus. And of course, he's been attacking Latinos and immigrants. Well, guess what? The brilliance of Joe Biden, he gets a Californian who's female, and you know what he says about females, who's African-American, API, whose parents are immigrants. He rolled them all up in one, and he just threw it back in his face. This is what this election is all about, uniting people, not dividing people. And that's the brilliance of this choice of Kamala Harris. I served with her as chair of public safety when she was the attorney general here. And I can tell you firsthand her commitment to smart justice reform, that we need to do more of that on a national level. What we've done in California is way ahead of what anybody else has done in any other state, and definitely with this country. We need to have those type of progressive ideas so we can take this country forward. And wouldn't it be nice? Wouldn't it really be nice that for once, when they're having their cabinet meetings, there's somebody that not only understands California values, but is smart enough to translate for those people that live in those other states why it's so important to embrace progressive California ideas. So I'm super, super excited about having Kamala Harris as vice president there, because as we know, because she's one of our own, this is the time to be a proud California Democrat. And then on election day and the days before, counting ballots, this corrupt administration right now is trying to destroy the electoral system. And what the Congressman, Mark Takano, and the rest, Nancy Pelosi, they're trying to stop him from stealing this election. Remember what I said at the top? This is a corrupt, shady group of folk. And we, as Californians, know how to fight back. Remember that red tide? It was sweeping across the country. Didn't hit that big, bad California blue wall. We need to extend that blue wall east so that we take back our democracy and make sure every vote is counted and that everybody that can vote will vote, because we are the big, bad California wall. We are the saviors of this, of not only of this country with ideas, progressive ideas. We will take this country onto the next level. And so I'm just proud to be here. Obviously, you can see I'm a little excited because this is probably the most important race of my time. And I'll leave you with this. When you're sitting in your rocking chair 40, 50 years from now, and somebody, your great-great-grandchildren ask you, what did you do during the Great Depression of 2020, the great pandemic of 2020, the great election of 2020? You want to be able to say what you did to make sure we got, what's his name, out of the White House and put the best team we ever had going in as president and vice president. Thank you. Am I supposed to introduce Becca now? They just told me to talk for 3 minutes.
I believe it is a coordinated campaign speaking now, so I welcome you for some information.
Hey, everybody. Can everybody hear me? Just make sure. I'm Andrea, and I am the North Orange County Field Coordinator for the California Democratic Party. So hello, Orange County, and of course, the rest of Southern California. So I work for the coordinated campaign, and our mission this year is to build a party that is wider and stronger and bring in thousands of new volunteers and talk to hundreds and thousands of voters as a result. Our work in the coordinated campaign focuses on Democrats up and down the ballot, from Biden and Harris at the very, very top of the ticket to the congressional campaigns in California, and then key propositions and local races across the state. So we know this is an exciting time. We're all excited, especially because DNC is coming up, and that's why we're here. As we look forward to making the change in our country that we all believe in, and we are fired up to make sure that each and every one of you who wants to help make that change has a way to get involved safely from home on this virtual campaign season. So now I'm going to take it over to my colleague, Karen, who's going to go over how you can do just that. Karen?
All right. Thanks, Andrea. I'm Karen. I'm the field coordinator for San Bernardino County for the coordinated campaign, i.e. in the house and love for the Inland Empire. So we've got an amazing menu of cutting edge tools available for voter contact, getting ready for November. Of course, number one on the list is phone banking. And if you haven't tried our automatic dialer, the CCS compliance call system, please try it. We've got training for you to make sure that you're comfortable with the technology. And we are phone banking every single day of the week. We've got special days that are dedicated to national races, the flippable Senate seats. And we're certainly defending our California races, our really important 7 congressional seats that we're all working. And we've got a lot of flippable races as well, like the 8th congressional district, for example. Chris Bubsar is a very winnable race that we're working on too. We're doing text banking, and with the California Democratic Party, we're doing 3 waves of texting in September and October, and then right before Election Day. So you'll want to stay tuned for that. We're also doing a neighborhood captain program, sort of a precinct captain program, which gives you an opportunity to build deeper relationships with the voters in your particular area and reaching out to them about voter education and how we're going to be voting this year, that everybody's going to get a ballot in the mail. We're also doing a new program that specializes in relational organizing called Outreach Circle. We're going to be rolling that out in a few weeks. It's really exciting. It's an app that you can install on your phone, and it basically keeps you updated with the coordinated campaign activities and offers options to get your friends involved, sort of that trusted messenger idea. And then we're also working with the state Secretary of State, and the coordinated campaign is helping to coordinate with the registrars of voters all across the state to make sure that we promote and protect the vote, to make sure that there's accessible voting locations and there are, sufficient staff and ballot drop boxes. So please let us know if you want to get involved in all of these programs. It's going to be a huge challenge this year to make sure that all of the voters are educated about how to vote and that they have adequate voting access. So we've got so many different ways to get involved. And we're going to be posting some action links in the chat for all of our coordinated campaign offices. We have, I think there are 4 or 5 offices, is that right? 5 offices in Southern California. So is that right? I think so. Yeah. So please sign up for actual actions. That's why we're posting specific links so that you can phone bank this week and next week and every week until the election. Make a personal plan, phone bank 3 times a week, and we're going to get it done. We're going to win in November. So I'll think I'm tossing it back to Becca. We're going to sign up.
So on behalf of Olivia and myself and the CDP and all the DNC members, we wish you an amazing Democratic National Convention. Be inspired, be engaged, but most importantly, let's get to work and let's elect Joe Biden, Kamala Harris, and our entire Democratic Party ticket in November. And thank you to our guest speakers, Assemblymember Lorena Gonzalez, Assemblymember Reggie Sawyer, and Congressmember Mark Takano. Thank you, everybody.